and the weather is good and everything look good, you know, so it's can be better يعني. لا ما يمكن انه يكون احسن يعني. انا فقط عايز اتكلم اليوم and I want to talk in English today, you know, so and most likely to most Americans, you know, and to most Texans, you know, how you say Texan people, you know, so people of Texan, yeah, like different than people of America, you know. So and I want to talk about something, you know. So like I noticed most recently, you know, even that I like anyways, even that I didn't being the only person talking about it, other people also should talk about it, you know. Like here in Texas is a place where we have a lot of resources. We have oil, you know, we have resources, you know, and budget of the state is very good budget, you know. It's about $1 trillion today, you know, which is good, you know. But we notice that most of the stuff over here is not taken care of, you know. First thing, you know, the oil, you know. So when we talk about the oil, you know, the companies come up and drill the oil here, you know. Look, so as they come up drill the oil here, you know, the people of the state should benefit from it first, which means the price of the oil should be cheap, you know, not like in other, you know, Gulf countries, you know, we say Middle Eastern countries as they call it here, or other countries, you know, even in the South America, you know, so where the oil is so cheap, the place where they produce the oil, so the people benefit from the oil, you know, so like. But another thing that I want to talk about is that they don't take care of most of the stuff here. For example, the electricity, you know, I noticed in Houston, you know, is so much not updated, you know. So it's like 100 years ago. It should be underground, and the easy kind of put a project, you know, for any very good company that's gonna put the electricity, you know, underground, you know, and that won't be issue, especially in place where they have the hurricane every year, you know, coming up every year. And like last time it did affect at least a week, you know, for them, or more than a week, you know, in order to resolve the problem and put the electricity back, you know. We didn't see that even developing countries where the electricity is gonna go down, you know, even with small hurricane that they just, you know, out of nowhere, you know. I don't know how these things come up all of a sudden and become more severe than before, but that is another topic, you know. So another thing that I noticed, you know, they don't take care of most of the state parks, you know. So you don't find them, like the parking is not organized. You don't find like shower that is organized. You don't find like a restroom that is good and so on, you know. So you don't find things that is like, you know, you know, that you see that they invest in, you know. So I'm asking myself what the state is doing with the $1 trillion, you know. There's people from the north that come up over here for a long time, right now for 100 years, you know, like for example the Bush family, if I give example of, you know, or others, you know. So and so what they did for this state, you know, they just drilled the oil, they took it for themselves, you know. They made up companies, you know, and those elites and this world order, they just take the oil from here and they hide a lot of reserve of oil that is, you know, this is over here, oil of Texans, you know, the oil of the people of Texas, and the people of Texas should benefit from it and should be the first to get the benefit of, not someone that is coming up to drill it and take the money out in their pocket, you know, and sell it with so expensive price, you know. Over here in Texas, the oil is $3 per gallon, you know. Yeah, like the rest of the rest of the country, you know, it's not that much cheaper. You find it's just only a few cents cheaper, like not more than 20 or 30 cents or 40 cents at the most, you know. Why the oil over here should be cheaper than the water, you know. The oil here, the most should not be more than $1.50, you know, per gallon, you know. Since the oil produced here and this is exported to most of the countries of the world with so expensive price, you know, so I don't understand. Over here they have very big budget, you know, like, and is trillion of dollars, you know. We should be invested, you know, that budget, you know, on the people of here, you know, on the states, you know, Texas. And also I did one mention about the tool, you know. Over here in Texas the tool is crazy, you know. So it's so expensive, You find the tool they charge you every like 2 mile, every 3 mile charge you tool. So and like while the highway should be for free. The state don't have any problem with their budget, where their money goes, where like the money of the oil all goes. Simply goes to the rich people and to the elite people. See this world order, but simply just are printing cash out of taking the gas out. So as I would mention, like being in New York, at least they print in money out of nowhere, so and like they make out like a whole riches of themselves, just by printing money and cleaning up dirty money, so and putting it in. But at least I noticed one thing: they build in most of the infrastructure. There you can find the metro, you can find like the L, you can find the city is organized. They build up stuff inside. Even you see that they stealing money, but they still building up something. So even the state they're charging people in every kind of way, and the tool also is crazy, and everything is expensive, and letting the people being charged for stuff that they didn't even like, they didn't even do, so they are not the people that created the problem, so and that's another issue we talk about, every time they put in the problem on the people, while they creating problem in the first place, in the housing market, they are the people that put the price up, and later on they crash the market, and who they blame it on? Just always they blame all the weak people. They go up to the immigrants, the poor people, the stuff, same thing they do in this time, same thing they do this time. They printed a lot of money for themselves, so and they got a lot of their money in their pocket, trillion of dollars being printed, by this Biden government, or even before government before then, like that crazy guy or whatever, the government before, so like, but at the end, where they put it on, they say is immigration. No, the problem with the rising price and inflation is not the problem of migration. Migration don't have much money to put in, this is big budget, that's a lot of money. The price of everything over here doubled or tripled more. So over here, everything that was, for example, housing price just 250, 200, or 300 at the most, and the best, best environment, or best, community you can go on right now. If you need to find it, you need 550, 600 or so more, and it's less of the place that you used to get before. If, for example, before you used to get like, for example, 3,000 square feet or 2,500, right now you get so much less than that, you get 1,500, you get less than that, in order to get, so it's half of the, of the place that you used to get, and double of the price, so the price of everything doubled over here. And the reason why it doubled because of inflation, and the reason inflation we have is because they printed the money, and they printed the money, they said, is for the COVID relief, and there was no COVID, to be honest, in the first place. What was it? It was kind of flu, that is so minor, and they just created it themselves in the first place, so, and they've been planning it for a long time. And even if anybody was even 201, they were planning this thing ahead of time. And if anybody was the meeting of the United Nations just before the COVID, you find every president went up there, this was a very big sign that something is coming up, so, and everybody was talking about it ahead, so, and mentioned it ahead, and they were planning it for many years before that. They would say they planned it even before in 90s, when the elite knows about it. That means when they were taking decisions about it, was even before that, probably 60s or even before that, 1960s or even before that. So like, and they brought out the COVID, out of nowhere. It's kind of just like having cold, and it has very low probability of anybody dying or whatever, instead of just taking small precaution for the elderly people and taking care of them if anybody get affected or whatever, they choose to block everyone. They choose to close up for everyone, and the decision they made themselves, and later on they say, okay, they want to print the money, so, and the only reason they printed the money is just because they want to take it for themselves. That's the only reason. They didn't even pay any debt. Anybody said national debt, they're trying to pay whatever, and if it's national debt, it's their own debt. The people have no anything to do